Good evening, everyone. This is Robert RJL 518 welcoming you to another exciting edition of Inside Pitch, the 1976 season. Today's date is June 17, 1976, and we are at the Notre Dame Cathedral of Baseball, and that would be Shea Stadium. Tonight we present the greatest baseball team of all time. It's the Los Angeles Dodgers, not them, taking on my New York Mets. Jack Dawson is first here through the turnstiles at Shea Stadium. The Dodgers play the Mets tonight. The Dodgers come in with a record of 29-33. The Mets have not been getting good on the 10-minute ticker. They've been losing games there. They are 34-30, but still second place in the National League East behind the Phillies. The Dodgers are in fourth place in the National League West at this moment, pretty much a half game ahead of the Astros, who are in fifth place, but still very much alive for those playoff spots. Should have an exciting game tonight. Hopefully, the last night's game was kind of unremarkable, but sometimes you get those kind of games, and you never know what you might get in a good baseball game anytime we play Inside Pitch. In my opinion, the most exciting tabletop game you can play. Starting pitcher for the New York Mets tonight will be Craig Swan. 6 wins, 9 losses, a save, a 3.54 ERA. He gets the call tonight for the Metropolitans, and he actually won his last game. The Mets have not lost on the board yet. The Mets are 3-0 on the board. But that doesn't mean anything depending how the dice can go. So let's get started, shall we? Top of the first. Leading off for the Dodgers will be left fielder Billy Buckner. 301 average, 7 homers, 60 RBIs. We're using blue, orange, and white dice since the Mets are the home team. We are all set and ready to go. And Steeler fan joins us here at Shea Stadium. Swan's first pitch, 3-6, that's blank. Buckner will swing 6-1, and he grounds it to short. And that will be the first out. Next batter for the Dodgers, second baseman Ted Sizemore, 241 average, no homers, 18 RBIs. Swan will get the pitch, and that is a 4-2 against a righty, that's blank. Sizemore will swing, and that is a 1-3, and that's a fly out to left. 2 outs. And the next batter for the Dodgers, first baseman Steve Garvey, 317 average, 13 homers, 80 RBIs. He played in every game for the Dodgers in 76 that year. Swan will pitch 1-5 against a righty. That's a walk chance. That 5 will walk him. Shea Stadium adds 5 to strikeouts and -1 to walks. So that makes his walk rating an 8, but he will walk there. 2-out walk given to Garvey. Next up for the Dodgers, the Penguin, third baseman Ron Shea, 277 average, 23 homers, 80 RBIs. I will roll to see if anything happening on the bases. The 17 says no. Swan will go ahead and pitch. And that is a 5-3. That's blank. He is not tired. Shea will swing 5-5, and that's a base hit to center field. Base hit to center. Garvey's base running rating is a 3. Single to center, -1. Center fielder for the Mets is Unser. He has a -1, so a 1, but with 2 outs, it's a 2. So a 1-2, Garvey will make third. That 3 means a no, so he will stop at second base, and Shea has a single. Runners at first and second. Next up for the Dodgers, center fielder, the Lizard, Dusty Baker, 242 average, 4 homers, 39 RBIs, as Tribe Fan joins us here at Shea Stadium as he says, meet the Mets. Exactly. 2 outs. Let's see if anything happening on the bases. The 3 is, well, Garvey could try to, I think he has a chance. No, he does not have a chance to steal third. The 3 + 2 is 5, but you divide that by 2. So no. So Swan will go ahead and pitch. And that's a 5-3. Again, a blank. He's not tired. Baker swings 5-2, and he grounds it to first. And that does end the inning. So no runs for the Dodgers. They do get a hit. The Mets historically won this game 1-0. It was a pitcher's duel between these two. 9 hits for the Mets and 3 for the Dodgers. And there were no errors. But we'll see what happens tonight. Starting pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers, Don Sutton, Hall of Famer, 21 wins, 10 losses, a 3.06 ERA. Sutton, a heck of a pitcher, and of course we lost him last year. So we didn't lose just Hall of Famers last year. We lost legends is what we lost with Seaver and Gibson and Aaron this year, Brock, Morgan. I mean, really, last year stunk for the Hall of Fame when it came to batters, when it came to Major League Baseball players. Leading off for the Mets, shortstop Bud Harrelson, 234 average, a homer, 26 RBIs. He is leading off for the Metropolitans tonight. Sutton with the pitch, 3-2. That's a walk plus 10, and that will walk Harrison, so a leadoff walk to Buddy. He trots down to first. Next up, left fielder John Milner, 271 average, 15 homers, 78 RBIs. Infield is halfway. Anything on the bases, the 13 is a no. Sutton will go ahead and pitch. 2-2. That's a strikeout. That's a strikeout, and that will get Milner. Milner's a 7, but Shea Stadium adds 5 to the strikeout rating, which I kind of think is ridiculous, but that's amazing, and that's going to strike out Milner. So maybe one of the reasons why it was a 1-0 game was because of that. That's the first strikeout for Sutton, and he had 161 of them in 76. Next batter will be the right fielder, Dave King Kong Kingman. 238 average, 37 homers, 86 RBIs. He was a beast in 76. Nothing happening on the bases. Sutton will pitch. 2-2 again with the strikeout chance. And that 9 will easily get Kingman. And that's strikeout number 2 for Sutton. So that's 2 quick strikeouts after the base hit. And that will bring up first baseman Ed Kranepool, 292 average, 10 homers, 49 RBIs. Maybe one of the reasons why Seaver had such another good strikeout year at Shea that season. Checking anything on the bases, a 14 says a no. Sutton will pitch, and that is a 1-4. That's a walk. That 14 is no. Kranepool will swing, 3-2, and he lines out to second base. And that will end the inning. So nothing doing for the Mets although they did get a leadoff walk. We got no score after 1. Second inning coming up. And leading off for the Dodgers, shortstop Bill Russell. 274 average, 5 homers, 65 RBIs that year. We are all set to see what happens. Swan will pitch, and that's a 2-5. That's at the park. Shea Stadium says 1-6. That's a ball hit to left field. That is an 11. That is a possible home run. That's a home run possibility to left. Russell against a righty is a 6. So a 1-6, he gets this. No, he doesn't, and that's just going to be a fly out to left. Just misses it, as going back for it is Milner, and he makes the catch right at the wall, and he gets that play. That he gets it. Wow, and that's 1 out. Russell just misses it. He had a 7, and he had a 6 against righties, and he gets a 7. Wow, we just missed it. Unbelievable. Next up for the Dodgers will be the catcher, Steve Yeager, 214 average, 11 homers, 35 RBIs. Swan knows he got away with that one. 1-4, a range play at the park. 1-4 for Stadium. That's for Shea Stadium. And that's going to be a single with a possible double to right field. But that is a range play. Dave Kingman's range is a 2. Yes, he makes the catch. Out number 2. Kingman makes the catch in right. Needed a 2, and he gets a 1. Great play by Kingman. And Section 518 applauds the defensive play. Next up for the Dodgers, right fielder Joe Simpson. Simpson, eh? I'll have to remember that name. 133 average, no homers, no RBIs. Only had 30 at-bats in 76, but he got the call today in Shea Stadium for this one. Swan with the pitch. 3-3. That's at the park again. Shea Stadium will say 5-5, and that is a ball hit to right field. That's a 4. That's going to be a single for Simpson. Simpson gets a 2-out single to right. Thanks to the Stadium. The Dodger pitcher, Don Sutton, will come up to bat. 0.83 average as a hitter that year. Infield will be normal. Nothing happening on the bases. Swan will go ahead and make the pitch. 5-6 against a righty, strikeout. That 5 will get Sutton easily, and that will be the first strikeout for Swan, and that will end the inning. So no runs and a hit for the Dodgers. As we go to the bottom of the second. Leading off for the Mets will be third baseman Wayne Garrett, 231 average, 6 homers, 37 RBIs. He gets the call today at third. Bottom of the second, Sutton will pitch, and that's a 5-5 blank. Garrett will swing 6-2, and he grounds it to first. One man down. And here is the center fielder, Del Unser, 228 average, 12 homers, 40 RBIs. Sutton will go ahead. And that's a 1-2 against the lefty. That's an automatic out. That's going to be a star 5 and a fly out to left. Looks like Sutton may be on his game tonight, but at Shea Stadium, the pitching usually was pretty good. Here's the catcher, Jerry Grody, 272 average, 4 homers, 28 RBIs in 76. Sutton will deal 3-1, strikeout 5. Yep, that'll get him. Struck him out, and that is strikeout number 3 for Sutton. I think every pitcher would love to pitch in Shea Stadium this season. A 1-2-3 inning for the Mets. No score after 2. Here's Bill Buckner. Buckner 0 for 1. Swan ready to deal. And that is a 4-2 against the lefty. That's a walk plus 10. That 17 is going to be too high. Buckner has a 4. I would make it a 14. Minus 1 is a 13. Buckner does not walk. He will swing, though. And that is a 4-6, and he flies out to right for the first out. Sizemore comes up. He is 0 for 1. Swan pitching. 4-3. Home run question mark. But Sizemore has zeros above the board here. I don't even need to check it. Sizemore will swing away. 4-4. And he lifts a fly ball to right field. So he way gets under that one. So even with a home run with a question mark, that would have probably much passed Swan no matter what. But Sizemore with zeros either way, there's no way he can hit a home run. The only way he can hit one is if he's in a stadium where there's a +1 for homers here, and a 1 is ruled. It's the only way you can do it. Here's Steve Garvey, and even though that would probably be extremely rare, if that actually came up in a game we were playing, I would allow the home run. Here's Garvey. He walked his first time up, so he's 0 for 0. Swan will pitch. 5-4 against the righty. Strikeout 4. Yep, got him. And Swan gets his second K, and he retires the Dodgers in order. So a quick 1, 2, 3. And for the Mets, leading off will be second baseman Felix Millan, 282 average, a homer, 35 RBIs. I always thought Felix Millan was one of the more underrated second basemen in baseball history. Man could hit, and he could hit, and he could field. He was a pretty good player. Sutton will pitch. 5-5, that's blank. Millan will swing. 5-1, base hit past second base. I guess Felix heard me, and he gets a single. That's a pretty good start. Next up is the pitcher, Craig Swan. Swan batted 103 as a hitter that year. Let's see. I'm going to call a bunt, but first let's see if anything else happens on the strat, and that's an 11. No. So Swan's going to go ahead and lay down the bunt. Corners are going to come in expecting the bunt. So let's see what happens. But first, Sutton gets the pitch, and that is a 3-6 strikeout. And on a bunt, the pitching is halved. So 27 plus 5 is 32. Divide that by 2 becomes a 16. That 12 is still going to strike out Swan. And that is strikeout number 4. Even though Swan tried to bunt, and he bunts it foul after 2 pitches, and that will be a strikeout. So Millan has to stay at first, and here is Harrelson. Harrelson walked his first time up. Infield now goes back to half. Anything happening on the bases? No. Sutton will deal. And we got a 3-6 strikeout. 3, got him. He strikes out Harrelson. And that is strikeout number 5 for Sutton. 2 down. If you're a strikeout pitcher here in Shea Stadium, you're going to be a monster. Here's Milner. Milner is 0 for 1. The infield is now normal. Sutton, let's see what anything happening on the bases. The 8 says no. Sutton will go ahead and pitch. 4-4, strikeout 18, no. Milner will swing. 6-3, and against a righty, he grounds it to first, and that will end the inning. No runs and a hit for the Mets. After 3, still no score. Fourth inning. Here's the Penguin. The Penguin is 1 for 1. Dodgers and Mets. Fourth inning, no score. Craig Swan will pitch. And that's a 5-4 against a righty. Strikeout 18. No, that's too high. Shea will swing. 4-4. And he gets a base hit to left. Shea hits Swan again. Second hit of the game for Shea. The Penguin will waddle down to first and will bring up Dusty Baker. Baker 0 for 1. Infield goes half. Nothing really can happen for Shea unless it's a hit and run, but even if one did come up, I wouldn't call it. But there always is that pickoff, and no. Swan will deal with the Lizard. That is a 2-6. Strikeout 14. Yes, he gets him on that K. A 14 will get him. Struck him out. Strikeout number 3 for Swan. That's out number 1. That's a big K. And here's Bill Russell. Russell is 0 for 1. Anything happening on the bases? A 6 says a negative. Shea on it first. Swan will pitch to Russell. And that's a 3-1 range play. Russell will swing. 4-3. That's a fly ball to right field. Again, Kingman has to make a play. A 1 or a 2. He's got it. Yes, Kingman makes another great play out there in right. And that will be a fly out to right. Out number 2. King Kong showing a little glove. All you need is glove. Oh, the Beatles. Great song. Here is Steve Yeager, and he's 0 for 1. Say can't believe it, but the King Kong is actually dealing with it. He's knocking down airplanes out there. And or helicopters, if you like the 76 one, which I happen to prefer. That's my favorite one of all the King Kong movies. The 76 one. Swan will pitch to Yeager. Let's see if anything on the bases. 20. Swan throws to first, and that is a 19 and no. Say gets back. Now Swan will deal, and that will be 3-4. That's a blank. And Yeager will go ahead and swing 1-5, and he grounds it to short, and that throw is going to go to second to get Shea, and that will end the inning. No runs, a hit for the Dodgers. Still no score here as we go to the bottom of the 4th, as Jack Dawson, as the favorite, you give glove a bad name. Here come the puns. I knew I should have just kept my mouth shut. You guys do not need to be like David Baseball Demos. Stop with it. The Beatles are a classic back in the day. Oh, you think, Jack? You think? They were pretty okay, I guess. Yeah, pretty okay. Bottom of the 4th, and here's Dave Kingman. Kingman 0 for 1. Question is, which one of these teams is going to break through the pitcher first? Sutton, 5-4, strikeout. That's an 8. Now, even that was a 20, it wouldn't have mattered. He gets him. He will strike him out. So out goes Kingman, and that is strikeout number 6 for Don Sutton. One quick out. Now the batter is Cranepool. He's 0 for 1. Sutton will pitch. 3-4, hit by pitch. No. Cranepool will swing. 4-1, base hit, right field. Cranepool gets a single. He will hold it first. Question is, can the Mets do anything with it? Here's Garrett. Garrett is 0 for 1. The infield will be half. Grand way Cranepool would go will be on a hit and run, and if that comes up, I may try it. And that is an 8, and no, that's going to be too high. Garrett against righties would be a 6. You add +3 to the hit and run, so that's not going to happen. So Sutton will go ahead and make the pitch. 5-2, strikeout 20. That's too high. Garrett will swing. 1-2. He grounds it to third. Do they get the double play? 1-0-2. Second base, Sizemore, +1 is a 3. Yes, he's got it. Inning over. Double play. 5-4-3 around the horn. No runs and a hit for the Mets. After 4, no score. I made a funny. Yeah, I know. I got issues. A lot of issues. Top of the 5th coming up. Throws so far each pitcher pitching a gem. Here's Joe Simpson. Simpson's 1 for 1. He singled his first time up. Swan, that's a 4-1. That's blank. Simpson will swing 6-2. Not this time. He grounds it to first. Next batter will be Sutton. Sutton is 0 for 1. Swan will pitch. 2-2. Error on a grounder. Sutton will swing. 5-3. That's a fly out to center. So obviously there's no error there, and that will be 2 outs because it was not a ground ball. And now here's Bill Buckner. Buckner 0 for 2. Swan ready to deal. 1-3. That's a walk. That 4. No, it's too high. That is too high. Buckner will go ahead and swing go. He gets a 3-3, and it's a star 1, and he just grounds out to second, and that will do it. A 1-2-3 inning for Swan. Historically, this game was 1-0, and right now, We're on our way to that type of score, the way things are going here. Halfway through the game, still no score. But the Mets did pull away with the win. Question is, will they win this one? Here is Del Unser. Unser is 0 for 1. Sutton ready to pitch. And that's a 3-3. That's at the park. Shea Stadium, 3-1. Ground out to first. Nothing doing there. And next up will be Jerry Grody. Grody is 0 for 1. Sutton, ready to go. And that is a 3-3 again at the park. Shea Stadium says 2-5, and that is a rare play. It's a blank. So we got a rare play, but there are no men on base, so the base is empty. Let's see what the rare play chart says. That is a 1-6. Center fielder dives after a sinking liner. Resolve as a single 8 range play. Check for injury to center fielder. Okay. So it's a center. So it's heading the center fielder. That is Baker. His range is a 2. No, he won't get it. And that is going to be, and he says, and it says resolve it as a single. So that's going to be a base hit for Grody. So he will trot to first on the single as he gets the base hit. Now, Baker, however, it says check for injury. So let's find out if TV's all right. His injury rating is a 2, and only on a 1 he'll be okay. No, he's going to be out. They're going to take him out of the game. Now, of course, I play as played lineups. So, of course, I don't keep track of any injuries. The only time I keep track of injuries is the playoffs. But Baker will be out. So we need a new center fielder for the Dodgers, and that is going to be Davey Lopes. So timeout while I go ahead and make a correction on the score on the card here. So and Lopes is a 0 as well. Okay. I'll let that dry. So Davey Lopes will take over in center field for the Dodgers as Dusty Baker is out for the game. But we have a man on first for the Mets in Grody, and the batter will be Felix Millan. So Grody will, let's see if anything happening on the bases, although I doubt it. Nope, not a 6, not a chance there. So Sutton will pitch to Millan. Millan is 1 for 1. He has a single. Yeah, the Beatles were not a classic back in the days. They were contemporary. 1976. I think the Beatles were already broken up at this time. They were contemporary, yeah, but in 76, I think they were broken up. I think Paul McCartney and everybody had all went their separate ways, I think, at this time. I may be wrong, but you can check that. But I think so. But, yes, they were contemporary. They are classic now, yes. As Matt is always on top of things. Sutton will pitch. 2-3. Error on a throw. Millan will swing 6-2, and that's going to be a double to center field for Millan. That's a double. Now, question, will there be a throwing error? We got to first, I'll put the 12 to the side. We got to see if there's going to be a throw. First, let's see if Grody can score. Double to center field. Grody's base running rating is a 1. Double to center field +1. Center fielder is now Lopes, and he has a +1. He has a +1 arm. So it's a 3. So a 1-3, Grody will score. That is a 2. He does score, and Lopes' center field error rating is a 5. There will not be a throwing error. So that's going to be a 2. So Grody does come in to score on Millan's RBI double. Millan's base running rating is a 2, and he will hold at second because only the batter can advance on a 1. But that is an RBI for Millan and on a double, and the Mets have taken the lead 1-0 as Shea Stadium and Section 518 cheer. Yay! So they finally break through Don Sutton. And that will bring up Craig Swan. Swan, of course, struck out his first time up. And he will hit away. So one out here, still a runner on second. Anything happening on the base is a one. Mian's not going to steal. He'll stay right where he's at. Sutton will go ahead and pitch. He would have a hard time to steal it, though. Sutton will pitch. 4-2. Range play. Swan will swing. 6-1. That's a star two. It's a ground ball to second base. That's it to Sizemore. His range is a 4. Yes, he will make the play. He'll throw to first to get the out, and Mian will advance to third. That would have scored Mian if that was a single. So now with 2 outs, here's Bud Harrelson. So runner goes to third. Here's Harrelson. Harrelson is 0 for 1. We will check to see if anything on the bases. The 20, Sutton throws to the catcher, and the catcher throws to third. No, Mian gets back. Yeager tried to pick off Mian, but not good there. Mian gets back and saw the play. Now Sutton will pitch to Harrelson. Can Harrelson bring in Mian? 5-2, strikeout 5, no. And he will strike out Harrelson. And that is strikeout number 7 for Sutton. But the Mets do damage. 1 run on 2 hits. And after 5, the Mets are leading 1-0. Coming up is the 6th inning. And here is Ted Sizemore leading off for the Dodgers. He is 0 for 2. Swan will pitch. 2-1. That's a double question mark. That 10 is too high for either side. Sizemore will swing. 3-6 against a righty. He grounds out to third. One man down. That will bring up Steve Garvey. Garvey is 0 for 1. Swan. 4-6 against a right-hander. That's an automatic out. It's going to be a star 4 and a ground out to short. Swan doing a good job so far. Can he keep it going for my Mets, or will the Dodgers finally break through? Here is Ron Shea. Swan has not gotten out the Penguin yet. He is 2 for 2. Swan ready to pitch. And that's a 6-4. Possible error. Shea will swing. 5-1. That's a ground ball back to Swan. His error rating is a 7. That's a 10. He's got it. He throws to first. Side retired. A 1-2-3 inning for Swan and the Mets, and that's exactly what you wanted after you get a run. We go to the bottom of the 6th in this rapidly moving game so far. A pitcher's duel. Just historically, this was a pitcher's duel, and we have one. And one of the reasons why is because of Shea. Here's John Milner. Milner is 0 for 2. Sutton still has lots in the tank. Dodgers are not worried about him yet. Pitch is from Sutton. 1-2 against the lefty. That is an automatic out. Star 1, fly out to right. Milner goes ahead and flies out, and that will bring up King Kong. Kingman is 0 for 2. He's struck out twice. Sutton deals. That's a 2-6. That's a blank. Kingman can get a hold of one here. 4-4. Nope, he lines out to first. And that is the second out. Now we'll see what Cranepool can do. Cranepool is 1 for 2. Singled his last time up. Michael Peterson joins us here at Shea Stadium. Sutton will pitch. And that is a 5-6 against the lefty. That's going to be an automatic out. Star 5, fly out to left. And Sutton goes 1, 2, 3. And it is still 1-0 in favor of the Mets after 6. Top of the 7th. And leading off for the Dodgers is the new center fielder, Davey Lopes. He took over for Dusty Baker, who was injured earlier in the game. Lopes, 241 average, 4 homers, 20 RBIs. He gets the call in center because he does have the most at-bats. So Swan will pitch to Lopes here, top of the 7th. Swan, 1-2, strikeout. That is a 6, and that will get him. Struck him out. And that is going to be strikeout number 4 for Swan as he gets the strikeout. Here's Bill Russell. Russell is 0 for 2. Swan ready to deal to Russell. And that's a 3-1 range play. Russell swings, 6-5. That's a ground ball back to Swan. Swan's range is a 2. Can he make the play? No, that's going to get by him. That will be a base hit. Russell gets it right past Swan, and the Dodgers have the tying run aboard with a single by Russell. He'll hold it first. The batter will be Yeager. Yeager is 0 for 2. Infield goes half. Russell does have a decent threat to steal, a 5 or lower. That's a 17, no. Swan will deal. Russell on it first. Yeager is up. He is 0 for 2. Swan with the pitch. 5-2. Strikeout 14. Yes, gets him. He struck him out. Strikeout number 5 for Swan. 2 outs. That's a big K. Next up for the Dodgers will be Joe Simpson. Simpson's 1 for 2. Will Russell try to take second? I think so here. Simpson is not that great a hitter. And I think and Sutton is the next batter. Russell's going to try to steal here. 15, a 0 from Swan, and Grody's a 0. A 1 to 15, Russell steals second. He does. Takes it pretty easily, slides under the tag, and Bill Russell will take second base. Stolen base for Russell. Now, he does have a chance to steal third. The only way he can do it is a 2 or a 1. And he gets it. Ooh. Do I want to try to send him to third? It'd be the same thing, a 1 to 15. Or do I let Simpson hit? Let me see here. Let me check Simpson's card here. 1, 2, 4, 5. I'm going to send Russell to third. 1 to 15, Russell steals third. No, he's thrown outside, retired. He's thrown out there. He tried him once, but he doesn't get him this time as that 15. And this time, Grody nails Russell, and that will end the inning. And I think that was the correct call because the pitcher is due to bat next. And now Simpson, in the 8th inning, you can replace Simpson for a pinch hitter if you want. So no runs on 1 hit for the Dodgers. We are at the 7th inning stretch. Sing your Take Me Out to the Ball Game. I'll be right back. It's been a while since we've had some close matchups, and we got one here. Don't forget, we got 10-minute ticker coming up after the game. And yes, I know the schedules are out in the No Fun League. I will check my schedules later. So don't forget, 10-minute ticker. And tomorrow we go from the East Coast in New York to the West Coast to Oakland. Tomorrow night it will be the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Oakland Athletics. It'll be Jim Colborn versus Glenn Abbott. That'll be tomorrow night's matchup. Oakland right now still looking pretty strong. They're right behind the Twins in the American League West. Milwaukee trying to stay alive in the American League East for those final three spots. But of course, we're still in June, so anything's possible. So tomorrow night, the Brewers and the Athletics, the Brew Crew and the Swingin' A's. And that should be fun. I like the Athletics, as a matter of fact. We go to the bottom of the seventh inning. Leading off for the Mets will be Wayne Garrett. Garrett is 0 for 2. Sutton will stay on the mound for the Dodgers. Sutton will go ahead and pitch. And that's a 5-3. Walk 14. Yes, he does walk Garrett. Barely, but he does. He walks Garrett. Garrett has a 15, -1 from is a 14, and that will walk him. So the Mets get the leadoff runner on. Now the batter is Del Unser. Now this may be a bunt chance, and I may take it. The infield is halfway. I think just putting pressure on the city to get. Oh, you're talking about Major League Baseball saying that if the A's want to move, they can. Oakland, you know what? The A's are 100% right. They need a new stadium. That place is a dump. I've been there. Oakland Coliseum is a dump. They deserve a new stadium. And if Oakland doesn't want to give it to them, A's need to get out of there and go someplace where they do want to go, where they do. Baseball teams move all the time. Garrett on it first. Let's see what comes up on the strat. For Unser to get a bunt, he needs a 16 or higher. He's got it, and I'm going to have Unser bunt. I'm going to have him bunt here. He's got a bunt rating of 5. The infield's going to be halfway. They're not going to expect a bunt. So let's see if he can get it though. Sutton will pitch though. 4-3, and against the lefty, that's automatic out, but that is ignored on a bunt. So Unser will go ahead and bunt. That is a bunt, and it is bunted to the first baseman, and that is a 10, and that's going to be a successful sacrifice bunt. So Garrett will get over to second. Unser's out, 1 out, as the Dodgers really were not prepared for that. And I think in the way this game is going, moving Garrett into scoring position is the right call. So that's a sacrifice hit to first base, and Garrett moves to second. I think that's the right play. Now the batter is Jerry Grody, and he can hit it. Grody is 1 for 2, has a single, and he scored the only run. Now the infield is back. Sutton, let's see if anything happening on the bases. Sutton, a 9, nothing, a 6, nothing happening. Sutton will go ahead and pitch. And that's a 3-2. Walk plus 10. That 12 will walk Grody. And maybe that's better because it actually puts the double play back on. So they walk Grody. And the batter now is Felix Millan. And he came through with a big double last time up. Millan is 2 for 2, a single and a double. Fans here at Shea Stadium want to see their Mets get a win today. They've lost both these games against the Dodgers in the 10-minute ticker the last two plays. Infield back to halfway. Let's see if anything happening on the bases. That is a 13 no. Sutton will pitch to Millan. Sutton with the pitch. And that's a 1-4. Walk. 16 no. Millan gets to swing. That's a 3-6. And he grounds it to third. Question is, where? And that is hit. That is grounded towards the line. If double play or force, it would go 5-3. So it's grounded towards the line, and that is picked up by Shea. Millan's double play rating is a 2. There's no pivot. The infield is halfway, makes a 3, but there's no pivot because it's going straight to first. So on Sutton is a 0. So a 1-3, they turn the double play. No, they do not. The runners advance on a 6. So it was a slow rolling grounder, and the only play was to first base, and that is 2 outs. The runners do move up. Runners at second and third now. Salvador America joins us here at Shea Stadium. Now the batter is Craig Swan. Swan can pitch to 26 batters, and he has pitched to 25. He has pitched to Jim. He's coming out because he will be tired. And I got runners at second and third. You got to bring in someone who can hit. So that's going to be it for Swan. He pitches a great game, but you got to go here with a chance here because you know Swan is the batter. And coming on to pinch hit for the Mets is going to be Joe Torre. And he is the most at bats on the bench. Here's Joe Torre, future Yankee manager. 306 average, 5 homers, 31 RBIs. He is the pinch hitter, and he has a chance here to try to get the runners in, but it's a big play for Torre. Sutton will pitch to him. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. Bottom of 7th, Mets lead 1-0. A very good chance here for Sutton. Here, we'll check to see if anything on the strat. That is a 20. Sutton turns around, tries to get Grody at second, and it's a balk. He called for a balk. Oh, my. Don Sutton is called for a balk on a 1. He tries to go to Grody, but he does not come to a complete stop. Runners come in. Advance. Garrett scores. Grody to third. 2-0 Mets. The Mets get a huge play on that. Stadium cheers. Yay! Section 518 cheers. Yay! As Chaz Sexington is joining here. As Chaz Sexington joins us here at Shea Stadium. Jerry Grody on at third. He will move to third on a balk. So he stays right where he's at. Don Sutton here will go ahead. It gives up the balk, and that now makes it 2-0 Mets with Torre still at the plate. What a time for that to come up. So we'll go ahead with Joe Torre. Sutton will go ahead and pitch. Well, first we'll try another play here. That is a 20. Now Sutton tries to pick off Grody at third. And this time Grody gets back. I guess Sutton didn't learn his lesson. Sutton will now pitch to Torre. 4-5. That's a double question mark. Torre a righty. A 1-5 is an automatic out. The 8 is too high. Torre will go ahead and swing. 3-3, and he flies out to right. And that will end the inning. A run comes in for the Mets. No hits, 2 walks, and a balk, which actually brings in Wayne Garrett. That is amazing. After 7, 2-0 Mets. Top of the 8th inning coming up. The Dodgers will have Joe Simpson come up to bat. We'll probably see a pinch hitter for him, though. Mets are going to go to the bullpen, as obviously they have no choice. Let's see who they're going to bring out. And it is a 2-run game. They got left, probably a pinch hitter for Sutton and another left. So I think the Mets are going to go to a lefty. Coming on to pitch for the Mets is going to be Bob Myrick. 1 win, 1 loss, a 3.25 ERA. Bob Myrick will pitch for the Mets. Joe Simpson is coming back, so we're going to see a new batter for the Dodgers. Simpson is in right field, so I'll have to find somebody to replace him. And why not? Coming on to bat for the Dodgers will be Reggie Smith. So here's Reggie Smith for the Dodgers, who was just traded. Okay, remember he was on, I believe he was on Reggie Smith was on the Cardinals. He is now on the Dodgers. So now, and of course he was traded for Joe Ferguson. Ferguson is now on the Cardinals. So Reggie Smith now joins the Dodgers, 253 average, 18 homers, 49 RBIs. So, and he'll also take over in right field. Timeout on the field as I do a quick scorecard correction here. And I'll put him in as soon as all that dries. So Myrick will pitch to Smith. Bob B joins us here at Shea Stadium. Myrick will pitch. And that is a 6-2. That's at the park. Shea Stadium, 5-3. Ground out to short. Out number 1. As Smith couldn't do anything with that. But he will take over in right field. We're going to see a pinch hitter for Don Sutton as he is done. He pitched a heck of a game, though. He really did, but the Mets got some massive breaks. So pinch hitting for Don Sutton will be Ed Goodson, 229 average, 3 homers. He is next in line on the bench. Myrick will go ahead and pitch. And that is a 2-2. Strikeout 7. Got him. He gets Goodson. And that is the second out. Yeah, you like that? I went ahead and made some changes. That may not be final yet. I want to make it a little bigger. So 2 outs now, and here is Bill Buckner. Buckner is 0 for 3. Myrick will pitch to Buckner. 2 outs here. Top of the 8th inning. And that is a 4-5. Range play. Buckner will swing. 2-4. That's a star 4. It's again a fly ball to right. Kingman has made 2 range plays today, and his range is a 2. Can he get the 3rd? No, not this time. And that is going to be a single for Buckner. Buckner goes ahead and gets the base hit. A 2-out single for Buckner. And now here's Ted Sizemore. Sizemore is 0 for 3. Infield is still back. We'll see if anything happening on the bases. That's an 8. And no, Myrick will go ahead and pitch. And that's a 3-1. That's blank. Sizemore swings 6-6. Line drive right back to Myrick, and he spears it for the final out of the inning. Line out to the pitcher's side, retired. No runs and a hit for the Dodgers. 2-0 still, bottom of the 8th coming up. And that is and by the way, in the last inning, that is the second time, I think in a week, a balk brought in a run. Only this time it wasn't a walk-off. Leading off for the Mets will be Bud Harrelson. And we'll see who they want to bring on here. They got switch left-right. And we'll see what they want to do here. I think they're going to bring in a right-hander here. So the Dodgers will go to the bullpen and bring in a righty. And they're going to go with they're going to go with their workhorse, Mike Marshall. 6 wins, 4 losses, 14 saves, a 3.99 ERA. Mike Marshall will pitch to Harrelson here, bottom of the 8th inning. Mets looking for insurance, 2-0. What a way to score some runs in this game. Marshall will pitch. 3-6, double question mark. Harrelson's a switch hitter hitting from the left side. A 1-6 is a single. That's a 3. Harrelson will get a leadoff base hit. That's his first hit of the game, and he's now 1 for 3. A big run on first base, and here's Milner. Infield does go halfway. I think Milner will just swing away. We'll see if anything happening on the bases. I am still rolling a strat. That is a 6-0. Marshall will go ahead and pitch. 6-1. That is a blank. He is not tired. Milner will swing. 6-6. Ground ball to first. They turn the double play. 0-0-1. Shortstop Russell +1 is a 2. Yes, they will get it. 3-6-3 double play, 2 outs. As Milner hits into the twin killing. That's big for the Dodgers. And next up is Kingman. Kingman is 0 for 3, struck out twice and lined out. Mike Marshall will go ahead and do the pitch. And that is a 1-1 range play. Kingman will swing. 4-1. That's a base hit past short. But that is a range play. Russell's range is a 3, and he won't make it. That's going to be a single for Kingman. He gets a base hit as he gets it barely past Russell. Actually, it really wasn't barely. It was pretty much out of his range on a 6. So Kingman goes to first. And now here's Ed Kranepool. Kranepool 1 for 3. There are 2 outs. A big insurance run for the Mets at first. Marshall, we'll see if any. Am I rolling a strat? Yes. That is a 13, and there's nothing happening. Marshall will go ahead and pitch to Kranepool. That's a 1-2. That's a walk. That 15, no. Kranepool will swing. 1-3, base hit, center field, possibly. Actually, I should say that's a hit to center field. That is a 10 against the righty. That's a double by Kranepool. Kingman comes in. Mets now lead 3-0. Stadium cheers. Yay! Section 518 cheers. Yay! Ed Kranepool smacks a double into center, and the Mets go up 3-0. And now the batter is Wayne Garrett. Garrett walked his last time up and came in on a balk, which scored a run. He's 0 for 2. 2 outs. Kranepool on at first. Now no longer strat roll needed. As Marshall tried to keep this a 2-0 game and failed, now he's just got to keep it where it's at. Marshall will pitch. 6-3, that's blank. Garrett will swing. 1-2, ground ball to third. That'll get picked up by the Penguin, and he'll throw to first to get the out. And the inning is over. 1 run for the Mets on 3 hits. After 8, the Mets are leading 3-0. Will we see some 9th inning magic? As a Mets fan, I certainly hope not. But gotta play for the team. Gotta try to win for the Dodgers. 3-0 Mets, top of the 9th. Steve Garvey is the batter, and the Mets, I think, will go to the bullpen. And Myrick is done, as he did a fine job, and the Mets will go to their closer, and that would be one of the better closing pitchers, in my opinion, they had for a while, and that will be Skip Lockwood. That's another great baseball name for you. Skip Lockwood. 10 wins, 7 losses, 19 saves, 2.67 ERA. Lockwood coming in to close the door on the Dodgers. Garvey will lead off, and he will hit. Lockwood ready to deal. Top of the 9th, 3-0. Lockwood's pitch, 3-5. That's at the park. Shea Stadium says 4-5. Fly ball right field, out number 1. That will bring up the Penguin, Ron Shea. Shea is 2 for 3. He's had a good night, and he will hit. Lockwood going ahead, and he will pitch. And that's a 5-2. Strikeout plus. Got him. He strikes out Shea. Struck him out. 2 outs. And now the last chance for the Dodgers is Lopes. Lopes is 0 for 1 as he came in for the injured Dusty Baker. Lockwood ready to deal. Fans on their feet hoping for that very rare 1-2-3 ninth inning. We get at RJL 518. Lockwood pitches 6-5 against a righty. That's an automatic out. It's going to be a star 3 and a fly ball to right field. Getting under it is Kingman. Takes a couple of steps backward. Puts out his glove. Block. And the ball falls into it. That's your game. The Mets go ahead and have a happy recap as they beat the Dodgers 3-0. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Dodgers as my Mets have a happy recap. Ten-minute ticker and the final line score coming up. And a big win from my Mets tonight. How about those Mets? As Steeler fan says, bring on the ticker. Because that's all he cares about is the ticker. He wants to see what his Astros are going to do. For the Mets, 3 runs on 7 hits and no errors. For the Dodgers, no runs on 5 hits and no errors. Craig Swan gets the win. Don Sutton the loss. There really was no save, although because of course it was a 3-0 lead when Lockwood came in. So there's no save, but they went ahead and made sure that was closed down. Historically, it was a 1-0 win for the Mets. They win it 3-0, so they still get the shutout. There were 12 hits historically. We had 12 hits in this game, and there were no errors. So I don't know what people think. I think Inside Pitch is pretty close to realism right there, guys. How about them Mets? Meet the Mets. Meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. It is time for the 10-minute ticker brought to you by FastScore Baseball of Replay Sports. For those of you who don't know about FastScore, please get a good look at it. It is an awesome system, and I still say it is the best baseball background you can use. And of course, you can play whole seasons with it in about a couple of hours if you want to. Blue die will be red first. The Mets go ahead and get a happy recap tonight. Now let's go to the ticker. Milwaukee taking on California. Brewers have a 7. And that's a 65. That's a good roll. That is a 7 for them. California has a 6. 21. And that is 1 run. The Brewers will win that one. Yankees taking on the White Sox. Catfish on the mound. Yankees a 17. 41. And that is 5. White Sox have a 7. 31, that's not going to cut it, and the Yankees will win another game. The Yankees are beginning to run away with the American League East. Detroit taking on Minnesota. Detroit has a 9. 11, that's a dead 0. Minnesota has a 15. 16, that's going to be enough to get them a win. 3-0 for the Twins. Boston taking on Oakland. I know Salvador America needs his Red Sox to win some games. Boston has a 9. A 31, and that is 3. Oakland has a 13. 64, nope, that's going to be a win for the A's. They will beat Boston 8-3. Baltimore taking on Texas. Baltimore has a 9. and that is a 32. And let's see here, that's a 32, and that is 3. Texas with a 5. 36. That's also a 3, so we got extras. So let's see, we got clutch. Let's see what we got coming up. Baltimore has a clutch of 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. And Texas has a clutch of 0. That's a 5, and they tie them, and Texas is the home team. They will win, and that will be 4-3 for the Rangers as home field advantage comes through. San Francisco taking on Philadelphia. I really would like the Phillies to lose this game. San Francisco, though, has a 7. A 55 is actually pretty good. That's 5 runs. But Philadelphia has a 20. 61, and that's going to win it there. That's 9 runs. So the Phillies now beginning to take even more of a firm control in the National League East, like they did. That team was awesome that year. Now moving on to the 18th, Boston taking on California. Boston with a 17. A 52, that's pretty good. That's 7 runs for the Red Sox. California has a 7. 54, that's 5 runs. Boston will win that game. Yankees taking on the White Sox. Yankees with a 17. 22, and that is 3. White Sox have a 9. 55, is that going to be enough? Yep, that's going to beat the Yankees. They get a rare loss there. White Sox will beat the Yanks. Kansas City at Cleveland. Kansas City in 11. 41, and that is 4 runs. Cleveland taking on an 8. Has an 8 there. And Cleveland has a 14. And that is going to, well, we got Cleveland's an 8. That's a 14. And that is 1 run. The Royals will beat the Tribe. Detroit taking on Minnesota. Detroit with a 14. 63. That's a great roll on a 14. That's 8 runs. Can the Tigers get a win? Minnesota's got a 15, though. 22 is not going to cut it. That's going to be 3. Detroit will beat Minnesota. Milwaukee taking on Oakland. We have that game tomorrow. Milwaukee has a 9. 15, and that is a 1. The Athletics have a 10. 54, and that is 6. Oakland will win. Baltimore taking on Texas. Baltimore has a 10. 63, that's a 7 for them. Texas has a 10 as well. 45, and that's 5. So Baltimore will go ahead and beat the Rangers. White Cubs taking on Atlanta. Cubs have a 13. 52. They're not out of it yet, by the way, the Cubs. They got 6 runs. Atlanta has a 10. 53, and that is 5. The Cubs will beat the Braves. Even though the Braves are now in last place and are off the schedule block, they still are not out of it yet. Dodgers taking on the Expos. The Dodgers have an 8. 21, and that is 2 runs. The Expos have a 3. 36, and that is 2 runs also. We got extras. Dodgers have a clutch of 1. So 1 plus 6 is 7. Montreal has a clutch of 0. They can't win. So that's going to be 7 minus 1 is 6. I'll give 6 runs to the Dodgers and make it an 8-2 win for the Dodgers as they will win on clutch. San Francisco taking on my Mets. Seaver on the mound. Got to win this one. San Francisco, though, has a 2. A 41. And that's 2 runs. The Mets have a 14, and the only way I lose is a 13 or lower. Nope, 22 will go. 22 should give me the win there. Let's see, a 14, 22. Yes, that's 3 runs, and I have a happy recap in the second game. Cincinnati taking on Philadelphia, a battle of division leaders. The Reds have a 13. 42, and that is 5. Phillies have a 17. 65. The Phillies will beat the Reds 10-5 in that game. Houston taking on Pittsburgh. The Astros have a 7. 51. That's pretty good. That's going to be 4. Pittsburgh, though, has a 9. 53 on a 9, and that is 5 runs. Pittsburgh will beat the Astros, and I know Steeler fan will say that's rigged. San Diego taking on the Cardinals. The Padres have a 16, and that is 1 run. Cardinals have a 15, and that is 1 run. So the Padres and the Cardinals got some extras. San Diego has a clutch of 2, so 2 plus 1 is 3. St. Louis has a clutch of -1. 3 minus 1 is 2, so 3 minus 2, of course. The Padres will win it. Will win it by a score of 2-1 in extras. That is your 10-minute ticker. If your team won tonight, congratulations. If they didn't, there's always tomorrow. And tomorrow we will be at Oakland Coliseum as the Milwaukee Brewers will take on the Oakland Athletics tomorrow night on Inside Pitch here on RJL 518 Network. Steeler fans, Salvador America, Chaz Sexington, Bob B, Michael Peterson, Jack Dawson, Drive Fan 879. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Please leave a like on your way out through the turnstiles. Subscribe if you've not done so. Bleacher Bums Gaming, you just missed it, my brother. I am so sorry. I'm just about to sign up, but it's always good to see you, Anthony. Always a Met. But yet another Mets win, absolutely. So as I say, please leave a like on your way out through the turnstiles. Subscribe if you've not done so, and ring that bell so you are notified when I go live. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, stay strong. And we'll see you guys next time. Mets shut out the Dodgers 3-0 in a shutout for the ages. See you guys later. Have a good night. Take care.